around my fifth month in the US, when I was beginning to understand what this credit thing looks like, I opened my credit report and I saw I already had like six hard inquiries on my card. Six, and it was shining red. I was like, when did I was started looking at the date. I was like, oh my god, like I should have never done this. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is me again. My name is Chinaza, and if this is your first time, welcome and welcome and welcome. Okay, if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming by. I love you deeply and truly. So, in today's video, we're going to talk about something. So, we're going to be talking about the things that can make your life difficult as an immigrant. So, let's dive into this video. As we all know, moving from one country to another country, especially in your adult age, is not easy. It's like you've been ripped away from everything you've known all your life, and now you're in a completely new world, and nobody's giving you time to catch up. Nobody's giving you time to meet up with what is going on. Nobody's giving you time to adjust. You are expected to either sink or swim. And sadly, a lot of people sink and a lot of people also swim, which is great. But most people don't talk about how they got to swim or how they got to stay afloat, right? The life of an immigrant is really not easy because you are going to be walking on eggshells for a while before you really understand what is going on. And I'm just going to break down some things that I found really difficult and how I was able to navigate them. The first thing was not having your social security number. Hey, this one, my first 2 weeks in the US, because it took 2 weeks before my social security came to me. Do you know why I shouted hey? I sat down in my hotel room and I thought to myself, and I was like, how? Like, how have people who didn't have social security number been living? How have illegal immigrants in the US, how have they been surviving? Those are our uncles and aunties that we hear of when we are growing up. They say, oh, Uncle Bade or Uncle Emeka or Uncle Ifunaya has been in the US all this while, but we have not seen him come back, and he's been sending us money. He has built house, he's doing this, he's doing that, but we have not seen him because he doesn't have papers. It's not easy. It's really not easy because you really can't do anything. You can't rent a house, you can't buy a car, you can't do anything, honestly, without that social security number. You would be asked for it at every point. And then, if you're brand new, they run your social security number, which is what they use in running your credit, and they run it and they see that you don't have anything, you don't have any history, you just came, like they just gave it to you last week. That one is another problem on its own. They will tell you to go and look for a guarantor. And in the US, it's not easy to find a guarantor except the person is your family, or your brother, or your sister, or your mother, or your father. It's not exactly easy to find a guarantor. The person who decided to be my guarantor, I don't even know who she was. I just met her like 2 days, 3 days. So you see how God favor works. Hold on to Jesus. So she became my guarantor for even when I finally got my SSN and we found a house that we really liked and we decided to pay, and they said, oh, you need a guarantor, and she had to come in and step in for us and said, okay, if these guys can pay for their rent, I will be able to pay for their rent. Now, there are some cases that they'll tell you, we are not going to add your guarantor, like this your guarantor. We need another, we need two, not one again. We need two to supplement that one. Not having your SSN. Like, there's a lot of things that could go wrong. Like, I felt stagnant. I really felt stagnant at some point. Now, how did I go over this? One, I had to reach out to the Social Security Administration to ask them, please and please, I am a very legal resident in this country. Where is my social security number? And they told me, oh, they've sent it out already and it's gonna get to me very soon. I was like, okay, thank God. After I called them that week, it got to my agency. My agency scanned it and sent it to me, and then they shipped it to me as well. So for some people, they send it directly to them. Because I didn't have an address in the US, so I used my agency's office address. That's why it got to my agency before it got to me. Okay, it's not like your agency has any power or any right over your social security number. They don't. Okay, they don't. But if you have like a family member, or like I said, your parents are here, your spouse is already here, you can always send it to their house instead of sending it to anybody who brought you in. Okay, so that's the one of the best things to do. So I waited for that. I found people who would help me, like those guarantors, to help me, application for housing, and even when I was going for car hunting as well. That's another thing again. Hi there, I know you must be enjoying this video and getting so much value from it. Why don't you hit that subscription button, like this video, and comment on it. When you do this, YouTube pushes this video out so that more people could see it and more people could gain more values just like you were doing. So without further ado, let's jump right back into the video. Thank you. The second thing again is not understanding the credit system. I wish there are more videos on this, especially for immigrants, but sadly they are not. Not understanding the credit system. So the US live a life of debt. You heard me right, debt. Coming from Nigeria, coming from Africa, we are not taught to owe people money. Owing people money is frowned upon. Like, if you're core, owing people money is really frowned upon. You are expected to pay back what you owe, right? And many people find it really difficult borrowing money. All right, this place will test your discipline. It will test your discipline. Now, not everybody is going to give you credit because you just came into the US. When people are like, why will we give you money? We don't know you. You just came. Like, it's really hard to find someone who, stand in for you, right? Which is one other reason I'm very thankful for my agency. My agency is in affiliation with a credit union. So because this credit union know that, oh, this person is a registered nurse, he has a job, this is how much he's going to be earning per annum, this is what her pay looks like every, per annum, this is what so she can be able to pay back anything we do, right? And with that credit union was able to give me a credit card worth of $5,000. Okay, they're able to give me a credit card worth of $5,000, which is amazing to start with, right? But not understanding what the credit system means. When I came in, I thought the $5,000 was for me, and then I'll be paying back small. It wasn't. It wasn't for me. Okay, so the credit system is like, they want to test your discipline, your trustworthiness. So testing your discipline and your trustworthiness will translate into what is known as a credit score. So they're going to score you on some things. One, are you in good standing with your credit card? Meaning, are you paying back what you need to pay? Number two, how many people have pulled your credit? That's how many companies have pulled a hard inquiry or a soft inquiry on your credit. Now, this is a whole lot to understand, but I'm going to break down some of the things you should have in back of your mind, especially when coming into the US. That money in that credit card is not yours. Is not. It's like when you go and you borrow money and then you have to pay back the money. So every month they draw statements from that card. They're like, okay, let's see the statement. Oh, you use this, you spent this, you spend this, you spend that. Did you pay back? Let's see. Did you not pay back? Let's see. That is what they do every month. Okay, so they go and they review all those things. They go and they look at it again. they bring it out, they look at it and they look at it and they look at it and say, okay, this person is in good standing. No, this person is not in good standing. All right. So they're testing your trustworthiness. They're testing to see, are they good? Are they not good? Are they using the whole money at a time? Are they not using the whole money at a time? When you're using your credit score, it is always advisable to use at least 30% of the money and pay back. That way you're building your credit score. Okay. That's a whole thing. Even me too, I'm still learning it. But when I came, it was really hard for me. So coming in and knowing that, one, the money is not yours. Two, when you go to buy a car, when you go for to buy something or when you go to apply for a credit card and they're telling you, oh, we're going to pull your credit, give us your social security number, don't do it. Tell them not to pull your credit. If you want to buy a car, you're not very sure yet. You're like, I don't know if I should go with this dealership or that dealership. That was one of the biggest mistake I did when I came into the US. I was giving, because I was going for car shopping. So I was giving every dealership I came in, I would find they will pull my credit. I don't have any credit. I had zero. I don't have any credit, so I don't know what they were pulling. And then they will pull it, they'll be like, oh no, and then they will deny you. Around my 5th month in the US, when I was beginning to understand what this credit thing looks like, I opened my credit report and I saw I already had like 6 hard inquiries on my card. 6, and it was shining red. I was like, I was started looking at the dates. I was like, oh my God, like I should have never done this, right? I didn't know. So please, I'm telling you now, don't allow people pull your credit. Don't allow car loans pull, all this car financing thing pull your credit. If you're not sure you want to buy that car, but if you're sure, you can let them. If you don't have anything, you can just tell them there's no point pulling my credit. I just came into the country. You're not going to find anything, Then they will tell you, oh, you have to give us a down payment for the car before we finance it, or you have to go to the bank and get a bank loan, or you have to go to a credit union and get a credit union loan. All those stuff. You can do all those ones rather than having them pull your credit. It would affect you in the long run. And for every hard inquiry they pull, it takes about 2 years before it falls up from your account. Like mine now is going to fall off next year. So it is what it is. Okay. The third thing was not understanding the taxing system. I didn't understand why when I received my paycheck, my gross income was around 1,200 or something for 1 week, paycheck. And then I was now going home with like 800 after taxes and other deductions. I was like, wait, hold on. What is this? I found out that there was federal tax, there was what is known as state income tax, because Maryland at the time was a state. You have to pay state income taxes. So I paid state income taxes, I paid federal tax, I paid social security, I paid for Medicare. I was like, how did my money go from 1,200 to like 1,800 to 800? Like that's over $400 was taken out already. I was like, yeah, my heart was broken. I was like, hey God, so this is what I will go home with. Not understanding that thing made me sad. But when I went to do my research and I found out where I fell in, and I found out that okay, this is right, this is what they're doing is correct, I made my peace with it. So I knew that after taxes, I knew what I was going to make after taxes roughly. Okay, so that's on that thing again you should look out for. Something else again that was kind of like hard for me was rent. Rent. When I was in Nigeria, my parents paid rent every year. We paid our rent every year. The day we moved into the house, that was the day we paid every year. Okay, and I came here and it wasn't the same. So you're gonna pay your first month. You just found a house today. Now I found this house, I like it, I want this house, and the landlord said, this is what you're going to pay. You're going to pay a deposit. What is a deposit? It's just like another name of caution fee. I know you must have heard of caution fee, right? That is what a deposit is. So some people use that your deposit as your last month rent. Some people use the deposit that at the end of the day, once you are done, they'll come and inspect. Did you break this thing? Did you not break this thing? Is this thing the same way I gave it to you? Is this not the same way I gave it to you? They come and check every single thing down to the spot on the rug. They check every single place, and once they are done checking, then they will now pay you. They will now, what's it called? They will now give you back your money, right? That's how some people works. So for some people, it's not like that. They would use the money for your last month rent. Okay, so you have to pay your deposit and you have to pay the rent. And most time the deposit is 100% of a month's rent. So for example, I'm renting this apartment and it is $1,000 per month. On my first month, my first pay, I'm going to pay $2,000, which is $1,000 for the month for the rent and $1,000 for the deposit. And then you pay your rent the next month, right? So that's how it's different for some people. And then there is this and that thing again that shocked me, the grace period. The grace period back home in Nigeria is when you don't have rent. There are people who owe their landlord rent up to 6 months. Now, I'm not in support of these people, but it happens. And their landlords are always like, I will pursue you, I will not pursue you, I'll send somebody to you. And then you beg, and landlord will say, okay, I'll give you 1 more month, or I'll give you 2 more weeks, or I'll give you 1 more week. It's not the same. It's really not the same over here in that aspect. Depending on your lease, some people would give you 12 days. So from the 1st to the 12th of every month, that is when you have the grace to pay. For some people, which is an average, they give you the 1st to 5th. So they give you 5 days to make sure you're paying your rent. And if you don't pay your rent after that 5 days or after that 12 days, depending on what is on your lease, your rent will start acquiring more money, start acquiring interest. For example, my current lease, I'm not going to say how much I pay for rent, but let's say, for example, I pay about $1,000 for rent, right? And it is already the 5th of the month and I have not paid my rent. And my landlord has sent me a reminder saying, hello, Naz, it's been 5 days into the new month and I haven't seen your rent. What's going on, right? And I'm like, I'm going to pay you on the 8th. For my current lease, for every day after the 5th or after the grace period, you are acquiring an additional $100. For some people, it is 12% of their rent. Some people is a fixed price. Mine is a fixed price, and mine is an additional $100. So if I don't pay my rent by the 6th, if I say, I want to pay my rent by the 6th, instead of paying $1,000, I'm going to pay $1,100. That thing blew my mind. And I have to do it every single month. Every month. Not every year. Every month. So that alone blew my mind. And I was like, oh my God, really? Wait, so I just moved now and I have to pay again? Is this how they do here? I didn't know this. I didn't know. It was very shocking, very surprising. And yeah, so how did I adjust to that? What I told myself was that I was going to share my pay, because I'm being paid every 2 weeks, into two. So one of the pay is going to be for groceries, saving, things I want to do for myself. While the other pay is going to be for rent. And if I have anything left over from that, I put it in my savings, right? That was what I told myself. So that's how I was able to navigate that. The next thing I want to talk about is the credit and debt lifestyle they live here in the US, which was very shocking to me. You could see somebody with the latest car, latest 2023, 2024 car, driving, cruising around, and you think that, oh my God, they have money, they have a lot of money, to spare. Unfortunately, most of them don't, because those cars are either financed or leased. Okay, some people, yes, do pay off their car loans, but most people don't, right? So That's another thing you just need to put at the back of your mind. Don't try to like come in and want to like live that lavish big lifestyle immediately. Eventually you will get there, but as a starter pack, don't go for that. Just go for something small, start small and build from there when you gradually understand the system. All right. I hope this video has helped you with clear any questions, any confusions that you may have. And if it has, kindly let me know in the comment section. I would like to hear your thoughts, and I would also like to hear feedbacks from you, what you think, questions you have, and I am always in the comment sections to answer them. All right. Thank you so much for watching this video. I sincerely appreciate you. Do well to let your friends know, let your family know, share it to them, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and so that the algorithm is gonna like push this video out to more people. So like and comment so that more people will be able to see the value that you are enjoying. All right, thank you so much for watching. Bye.